keeping in basketball, collegiate level, back down. We went up, down, we're back to collegiate. You know, March Madness, we say it's only 11 days away, Danny, so we need to know who are the 4 #1 seeds if we had to pick them today. Who are they?
Well, we saw Pitt knock off UConn just yesterday.
That was an awesome game.
And, I mean, I think Pitt's for real. I think that was their first step, unless they do something very foolish. Errant Horn over there by Peter Saul.
I don't know where that came from.
We're going to get on him for that a little bit later. No, I think Pitt cemented themselves as a #1 seed yesterday. I think the Big East is going to get that second seed. I think UConn stays as a #1 seed. I think Pitt gets it. As long as those two teams progress throughout the rest of the season in the conference tournament as expected, they're both going to lock up 1 seeds. UNC and Oklahoma will get the other 2. But watch out for Memphis.
Memphis, really?
Yep. I mean, they can't. They're
Lost
not.
Derrick Rose. I mean, not a lot of size down there.
I mean, who's going to beat this team until tournament time?
Exactly, nobody. I mean, it's pretty much a fluke. I think Memphis.
Yeah, but as long as you have UNC losing its once in a while fluke game to BC, and as long as you have UConn who pulls the occasional fluke to Georgetown, as long as you have Oklahoma lose its occasional fluke to Arkansas, everyone else loses fluke games. Memphis hasn't so far. They might get rewarded for that.
I don't think
Lastly,
they will.
watch out for Michigan State. Rising up the polls.
Watch out for them. They're not going to get higher than 2 seed, I don't think. Danny.
Raymar Morgan's coming back. This team could run the table and win the Big Ten tournament. You don't think they get a 1 seed?
I agree with you on the 4 seeds. UConn, Oklahoma, Carolina, Pittsburgh, Memphis, not big enough down low. Still a little bit too young. Tyreek Evans, if the ball's always in his hands, he's probably going to turn it over in a big situation. Michigan State, I mean, they're really having a pretty good year. But
so who's the weakest of those 1 seeds?
The weakest of those 1 seeds. Wow, I'm going to go with Oklahoma because after Blake Griffin, where do you go after there? You know, the other guys are so deep. UConn has a front, you know.
And now this is all obviously subjected to change, Chris. I mean, Oklahoma has Texas, Kansas.
The games. Oh yeah.
9-1. Texas falling off a little bit, but Kansas is 9-1 in the Big 12, and Missouri is 9-2 in the Big 12. So I think Oklahoma is going to show us just how for real they are in the next few days.
When it's all said and done, I think it has to do with who is the deepest and most talented team. And you look at Carolina's roster, and it is just so deep, it's so jam-packed. Hansbrough's having a down year, and they're still this good.
But some years
and nobody's talking about
Some years they don't show up. I think they're still the most talented team. We have to see what they can do come tournament time, because obviously it all matters in March. So.
Yeah, definitely, and we have to get there. 11 days, like we said.
And another team that will be playing in March and hopefully throughout April is the Michigan hockey team, who continues its streak of hot play. A sweep of Nebraska-Omaha this weekend, putting up 12 goals over the 2 games here in US Dice Arena.
Nice.
Setting up a nice little showdown. 3rd in the CCHA, Michigan Wolverines. 5th in the CCHA, the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Buckeyes.
Nice to see Ohio State's hockey team back to.
No, it's not. It's Ohio State. It's not nice to see Ohio State winning anything. Are you crazy?
For me, I'm excited to see a good. I'm excited for good hockey. On the set here, Dan. I'm excited for good hockey. I mean, come on, Michigan State's down. The 2 big rivalries: Michigan, Ohio State, Michigan State. For Michigan State to be as bad as they are this year, it's nice to have the Buckeyes as someone that we can, go into. Pummel when they're
it's gonna be a good
having
series.
a good season. Let's destroy their season.
Michigan has got to have their heads screwed on tight one for this one. I mean, they're going up against Dustin Carlson, one of the top goaltenders in the nation, a .924 save percentage.
Yep.
That's what Billy Sauer was at in his record-setting year last year. And then, they're coming off a winless weekend against Michigan State. They're in 5th place. They're trying to get into 4th place. They only need 1 point to pass Alaska, which they might do anyway because Alaska's only got 2 game conference and left. So if they get in that 4th seed, they get the first round bye. Then
But this is a prime opportunity for Michigan to really keep its foot on the gas pedal. You see
and they need to do that.
A Michigan team, last year's team, who played so well throughout the season, kind of sputter a little bit down the stretch. They had a few ties against Northern Michigan going into the tournament. And, I mean, they stayed hot. They did win the CCHA tournament, but you could tell that they kind of lost a bit of their mojo here. I would love for this team to go into Columbus and just lay a smack down.
Yeah, that's what they need
to do.
And
I think they can do it.
Yeah, well, they got 3 straight road games. They're 13-3 at home this year, only 7-6 on the road. They look to improve that mark. Speaking of improving, the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Rays, I'm sure in some way of the game they think they've improved this season to help their chances of winning that tough division. We're talking baseball here, spring training just getting underway. Danny, AL East, what team comes away in the toughest division in baseball?
Right now, this is not an answerable question. I
really?
think it's so. I mean, look, the Rays, the Yankees, the Sox, the Jays were all 10 games over 500 last year. Tampa can play, and they'd be the sexy pick right now. Who wouldn't love to see the Devil Rays do their thing?
Again?
Oh, yeah. Come on.
Hold on. They're not the Devil Rays. They're not the Devil Rays. You're going to mess it up for them. They're the Rays.
They're the Devil Rays. The same way the Carolina Hurricanes are always going to be the Whalers, and the same way.
No.
Excuse me.
You're upsetting a lot of local fans down in Tampa, Danny.
The Devil Rays.
Apologize now.
The Devil. Tampa. Can we agree? Tampa would be the sexy pick. I'd like to see them around. I think they'll be in the wild card mix, but look, the way Boston just goes ahead and they almost, the Yankees obviously are the ones with the big additions,
Well,
to share
$400 million added to the
I mean, they're bringing
payroll.
in more money than most teams have as their entire payroll. But Boston had some nice additions as well. John Smoltz, the veteran. You get a guy like Brad Penny.
The Red Sox have enough hitting, though.
Takashi Saito in the bullpen is going to be a nice little setup man. For, no more Manny Del Carmen, Javier Lopez disaster.
We'll see. I think Boston's the safest
strong
pick.
division.
Yankees are the sexy pick. Rays are the shaky pick this year, coming off of the high year they had last year.
I'm not willing to count out Toronto, and Baltimore is getting some young talent as well.
Forget about them. We talk about
it's
them
a
every
good
year.
division.
They never do anything.
Well, they try hard.
Danny, we're going to go to commercial. Main event, we're going to talk some more baseball spring training with Charlie Clinton right after this.
Charlie!